won 3 straight, and you get a really big opportunity here with Claudia. What does it feel like it's changed for you? Does it feel like things have kind of started to come together for you?
I kind of took the sport a little less seriously. I know it sounds crazy, but
You took it less seriously?
less seriously. I was so occupied with doing the right thing, training for this amount of time, putting my body through all this stuff, that I forgot like the fun of it, what I really got into it for. So once I took the pressure off of winning and the competition of it being like something that I needed to do or die, it kind of just started falling together. The first fight I took with a little bit short notice, and I came from 125, so I had a really bad weight cut, and I was doubting if even 115 was possible for me. And then my second fight was a really close decision to Justine, which I thought I won, but then I lost. I'm like, you know what, this just isn't working out for me. And then I told Amanda, I'm like, I'm just going to do one more fight. Whatever happens, happens. If I lose, I'm going to retire. And then I didn't lose. I haven't lost since.
Claudia mentioned.
Were you surprised to get this Claudia fight?
Yes, actually, because the spacing between my last couple fights were like 8 months, a year. So I was like, here we go, another year off. And then I posted something on Twitter, and then Amanda posted something like, hey, give me a fight or I'm going to take time off and have a family. And then 2 weeks later, they offered me a number 3 spot, and I was like, yes, please.
Claudia mentioned you guys had trained together in the past. What do you recall about that, getting to work with her at MMA Masters?
It was really short. It was like, I think a round or 2 in sparring. Feel confident about it. I mean, it wasn't enough to really know each other. I didn't really show her all I have. She didn't show me what she had. But I know how big she is. I know her distance, and that's pretty much it.
Talking about taking it, more seriously or less seriously, is it fair to say that you were trying to control things that were out of your control before, and now you're just kind of letting it happen?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. You always sit there and you're looking like, if I win this fight, then I can have this fight, and then maybe next year I'll fight, and then it never happens. So it's like, why am I going to stress out about something that I have no control of? So I told him, man, whatever happens. Like, as of now, I'm retired. If they call me with something good, I'm coming back. Like, and that's how it's helped.
When we asked Claudia earlier today about you, she kind of laughed, chuckled a little bit and said there's levels to this, and effectively said she was going to show you there's levels to this. I'm just curious for your response to that.
She's going to find out there's levels to this too. I've been striking since I was 5 years old. I don't think she's ever seen the kind of striking that I have. I mean, watching it's one thing, and then being in front of it's another. Everyone can watch a fight and be like, I would do this and do this, and then you're in front of the fighter and you're like, well, shit, that doesn't work. So, she can show me her levels. I train with the champion, soon to be the double champion, so I'm sure there's levels of that as well.
I mean, does it feel to you like there's almost a little bit of a blueprint on Claudia at this point? 'Cause, I mean, there was a time where she was almost looked at as unbeatable. She had struggled of late, lost a couple, and maybe didn't look the best in the Carla fight.
I've of course watched her fights, and I'm really worried about nothing. As long as I'm going to do what I'm going to do, I don't think she can stop it. I know there are levels to this. Maybe she's been fighting MMA longer than me. Maybe she's been training something different than me. It doesn't matter, I'm a fighter. I've been fighting for a very long time. I train with the best female fighter in the world, and competitively. So there's nothing she's going to show me that I'm worried about.
How much does it help?
You've mentioned Amanda a couple times now. How is she doing it with that move up in weight?
Good, actually. She's not a small 35er, so she's a good size 45er. She started her career at 45. She's looking really strong and really sharp, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and how much does it help having Amanda training for her fight? You've got Joanna training for her fight, same card. Just having teammates getting ready at the same time.
It's always motivating when people are around you are pushing for the same thing you are. Living with someone sometimes gets a little stressful, but it's also motivating as well. One of us decides like, today, but one of us wants to go and one of us doesn't. We're going to go. So
Right.
You always have that extra push when you need to find it. Sometimes the days are, and then you have someone giving you that little extra. It's a lot.
Is it almost too much just because you have Amanda training her for her fight, but also wanting to help you, vice versa? Does it get to be almost too much or no?
No, I can handle it. I mean, she can handle it. It's not our first time doing it. When she fought Ronda, we actually flew out to Vegas 2.5 weeks before the fight, and it was 3 weeks before my fight. So I did a camp at a gym randomly 2 weeks before my fight. It didn't affect me. I ended up winning. So it's just how you go into it. You can't let things like that get in your head. It's all a head game at that point.
These kind of forward pressure, heavy hitter fighters, people used to be kind of intimidated by them. Now they seem to want to fight them because they see them as predictable. Would you say that's the case?
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own style, you know, and some people will be like, oh, she's not good with pressure, or she does good with pressure, or she gasses, or she's, you know, like, I can't look at someone's last fight and predict what they're going to do the next fight. I can't. It doesn't make sense. I can't look at someone's record and be like, they lost 2 in a row, they lost, and then they usually lose it. Like, that doesn't mean anything, or they've never lost in Canada, or they've never. To me, I train, I'm going to do what I did, I'm going to stay on my game plan, and whatever happens, happens.
Living with Amanda, have you noticed like a noticeable difference just in her demeanor and personality, having those extra 10 pounds and not having to cut weight from a fight that's 2 weeks away?
Yeah, I just have to cook bigger portions. That's pretty much it.
Where do you feel like a win over Claudia puts you in the division? Do you feel like it would warrant a title shot?
Maybe a contender fight, title shot, I'll take it. But you know, you never know. You never know when they're gonna. I know after this fight, I'm gonna stay ready for the possibility of a title shot or a contender fight. I feel like that's what this fight's gonna put.
And you mentioned starting a family potentially. I mean, obviously this fight came up, so that changed the course there. How do you adjust your timeline with the fact that you have this fight now, especially if you win? I mean, that sort of changes things.
That's exactly what it is. I'm going on that schedule. Like, I'm gonna take this career as far as I can. You know, if there's a break in it or maybe an injury, there's so many things that you like. This isn't the first time we've talked about this. We've talked about this for 2 years now. Obviously, I'm here fighting this Saturday.
Yeah.
So you never know with this sport. You know, obviously I'm going to be the one carrying it.
Yeah.
So it's not going to affect Amanda's schedule as much as it would mine. So it's not like we have to like.
Yeah.
Timing, whatever happens, happens.
But if things didn't go your way on Saturday, is it something you sort of circle back on, or I guess you just see? Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned that a win on Saturday because you maybe lose a #1 contenders match. Now that'll be 4 straight for you, which would tie you with Tatiana Suarez for the division's longest streak in the division at the moment. Do you see her as a potential opponent for #1 contenders?
I was actually thinking that I was seeing. I'm not sure what's going on with the division. I think Rose was injured, she's taking time off. I'm not sure. I think Andrade would have probably been next for that. Or if they're waiting long enough, I was thinking maybe Tatiana and Andrade. I don't really know, but that's definitely a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah, you seem very confident, very prepared. Are you just raring to go for this Saturday night?
I'm more excited than I've ever been for any fight. The higher level opponent, the better I perform. So you guys are gonna see something you never seen out of me before.
Really quickly, the odds for Amanda, she's a big underdog. Do you guys feel like you're going to surprise a lot of people in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I'll put the house on it.
Is this, if you win your fight, Amanda wins, is this a month that you guys will probably look back on as one of the more significant in your lives, especially career-wise?
I guess so, but you could say that it's happened before. When she fought Rondo, when I got my first win. We don't look at the bigger thing. We take little things just as important as well. So it can't be like because this is huge, like because you're gonna be disappointed in life if you only look at the big things to be successful. Every little step is something we always look back on and remember. So.